lurkers were made.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, with those lurkers there, like he kind of drew all the units up into the main base with the Warp Prism, which in and of itself is always a good move. But when the lurkers are alone, they are like siege tanks, like you were saying. So they can't be alone. It's like Broodlords can't be alone, lurkers can't be alone, siege tanks can't be alone. If you don't have other army with them, they're very easy to kill.
That's right. They're like the backbone of your army, but you have to have the rest of the pieces there. Otherwise, it's not worth anything. You're really teching up to those kinds of units to have the muscle, to have the power to punish, but got to be ready, man.
Indeed.
Anyways, we're going to go into game number 3 here. Right now, Saxon having a hard time. Hero up 2 games. Let's see what happens on our next map. In the bottom left in the blue.
나의 인세니티 싹쓸이.
His opponent in the upper right in the red.
팀 리퀴드 히어로.
I was just getting to that length where I'm like, hey, take the camera off Saxtree now. All right, so. Pretty fun.
All right, Kevin, Brian, I love you. Protoss OP. Thank you for coming to the studio, friend. You guys are always welcome to come down to the studio. Those of you watching at home.
Should have added Nick and Dan to that sign.
Yeah, I thought there were enough shout-outs in there, but man, yeah.
All right.
By the way, Artosis, how was your vacation?
Oh, it
I didn't
was
actually
really
get to
nice.
ask you this.
Yeah, no, it was. I went to Okinawa.
Yeah, with the family?
Yeah, a little resort in Ona, about an hour north of their capital, Naha. Yeah, it was really nice. It was like pretty warm, not like swim in the ocean warm, but like wear sandals outside.
Sit on the beach warm.
Yeah,
Totally.
So it was pretty relaxing and fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was I needed that time off.
It's good to have time. I had a great time off during the Christmas.
Yeah. My little girl turned 4 while I was out there, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's so cute. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
By the way,
cool.
We have an interesting build here. It was actually 2 gates here before the Cybernetics core, so I think we might see some aggression coming out for sure here from Hero.
Yeah. I would definitely say we're likely to see double Adept being chronoed out of this rather quickly. Only Zest is cool enough to make a Stalker and an Adept. So I'd imagine that's going to be the case. In the meantime, nothing too weird out of Saxtree here.
All right. This game continues on. Once again, the Adept, oftentimes in this iteration of the game, just a staple unit of PvZ early on. There's really no reason to not go for it.
Yeah,
I mean, have so much more freedom.
Even if you're not going to kill workers with it, some of my favorite stuff to see with it, like for instance, I believe it was Stats versus Departure that you were casting, where Stats just kept poking in with 1 and like scouting everything.
Oh yeah,
with really fancy Adept like stuttering around and stuff. It was. I like that type of play a lot. I really appreciate that
smart.
kind of like the finesse of scouting and keeping it alive and that type of thing. Not just suiciding into sea, but instead, just consistently throwing out shades, making sure you're at a healthy distance so that you can get away. But yeah.
And we see that attack coming up here now. Now, this is a much more blunt, straightforward aggro build. Although there are a lot of different ways you can take this build from here. Some players can expand behind this. Others will set up for another timing attack. Got to be careful, though, against Lings. Lings are really the answer early on for Zerg. If they get the Ling surrounds, the Adept is just not going to deal enough damage to ever be able to escape the surround. If you have the proper amount of Lings like that, one surround, you better hope that Shade animation finishes.
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more Zergs actually make the appropriate amount of Lings. If you make like 10, 12 Lings, you're absolutely going to make sure that those Adepts don't get any drones, so, or at least the first couple. Now, we do have that third base coming up rather quickly here. No tech chosen yet for Hero, but I bet you that we are going to see Stargates.
I think you are right, Artosis.
There's one.
There's one. And
there's two.
The beauty of this strategy, the beauty of this strategy when Protoss do it is that the Adepts force the Zerg on the defense, so there's really no room to try to contest the third base being set up. And as you can see, once Zerg even gets over there, all the necessary pieces are in place to defend.
It's, you know, this is kind of the standard right now. Excited to see what Saxtory has in mind. Again, I think that this guy is actually quite a talented Zerg player. I really enjoy watching him strategically and tactically what he wants to do. Because it doesn't always line up 100% with what all the top Zergs are doing, but I always feel like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's always got a really good idea of what he wants to get done and how to do it.
And from here, I think Hero's in great shape. I do like the +1 range here, getting the upgrades. He's going to have solid upgrades. Going into the mid game, there's a lot of different things Hero can do to punish here. And I think at this point in time, Saxtory should be prepared for what Hero's doing. It's been along the same theme throughout this best of 5 so far. Uh-oh.
Well, this could be a powerful move right here. He is moving in and does cancel that shade through, targeting down quite a few drones indeed.
By the way, that was a great cancellation. Once he saw, wait a minute,
and I
can do whatever I want over here.
Good play by Hero here as well, like heavily microing those, splitting 5 adepts into 2 groups, so he was hitting 2 different drones instead of right-clicking them all. Just a little something good pro gamers do to make their adepts even stronger.
Nice kiting here with these adepts, and he is going to be able to get, I believe, about 4 of these out of there. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
And he can keep gunning down drones for the time being.
Should be shading anytime now. Actually doesn't end up shading. I guess you just let him die. That's fine too.
Well, they already did enough damage there.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Phoenixes are the follow-up. Protoss did not scout, by the way, that center left base, right?
No, I don't think he did,
I don't believe so.
And that's not a too common 4th base. A lot
Not
of times
normally
people
it's bottom
like to take,
center.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer, but I guess if you don't have the rocks down, you can't really defend it, so you may as well take the other one.
Well, you know what? I think that might have been why we saw that attack timing like it was right there, because Zerg might have been focused on the rocks at this phase of the game, which would have allowed the depths to get in there. Now, that's not what he was doing anyways, but... oh, man, if you get these other Hydras, that would be huge!
Oh, that's so big.
If you can hit, and it's very rare, but if you can get just at the beginning of the Hydras coming out, you can start to kill them off as they slowly produce. And problem is that Hydras are only getting great numbers. I mean, there are not builds where you make like 1 or 2 Hydras in your army. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not really ever been a thing.
Yeah.
So to hit at that key moment, considering the price range of Hydras, you're really punishing Zerg pretty effectively.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, as soon as you pick off that many Hydras, like what was that, 4 or 5 Hydras, and plus whatever else he's still getting here, these Phoenixes are doing awesome because the Phoenixes have a lot of jobs here. Like they're preventing you from going Mutotech at any point. They're scouting, they're killing overlords, they're forcing your eyes off the map, they're picking up drones and killing them off.
You're absolutely right, Artosis. There's so many things they're doing.
And if they kill any Hydras on top of that for free, are you kidding me?
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, that's
sick. They were already a great deal. If they
that's
killed
the
no
icing
Hydras
on the cake right there. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty tough. Spot right now for Saxtory. I'm especially worried about that center left base and how exposed that is. I feel like without creep connecting that, and there's none, it's going to be really difficult to ever hold that. And in fact, this game may be one where that base never even becomes an issue.
Yeah.
If Hero keeps pushing here, he may just try to slowly crush down the 3 bases that are just in the bottom left, because this base he can't even get drones to right now.
Yeah, it looks like he just wants to mine gas over there, using 2 of his first drones actually to make geysers.
Oh, very good point, actually. Yeah, that might be gas intensive.
Kind of lines up with the Lurker Den. He may just want to go heavily into a big ground army. And, Lurkers, if you do get there in a healthy way, are strong as hell.
His cover's been blown now. He's going to see the creep right there. This may trigger Hero to come out now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, he already has a prism, right?
There was one somewhere I saw.
Yeah,
unless I'm crazy, but I believe there was one out.
Between harassing with the Phoenixes and utilizing a prism, I feel like he can definitely get some damage done here.
Fortunately, creep not connected too terribly well anywhere here inside of the bases. Part of that just due to the fact that Phoenixes are out. They can take out overlords that are securing these locations. And now we have that push coming out with that 1 Immortal and 2 more being cranked out at a time. 18 Hydras being produced to try to stop this. This is going to finish right, or it's going to start, right as an attack upgrade finishes.
Oh! Nice pickoffs. But yeah, he just finished the Lurker Den as well. A lot more Hydras on the way. He's going to lose his 4th base, unfortunately. Like, just Saxtree is completely out of
100%
position.
this goes down. He has to sack it.
Yeah.
And there is that Warp Prism we were talking about coming out now. Nobody's shift clicking here on the rest of these drones until there are no more drones there to kill.
And look at this. He actually saves this hatchery, which this actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would for Saxtree. A lot better. But, I mean, Hero did a pretty good job there killing 20 drones, I would say.
Yeah, that's another way to try to win this game. He is beginning to get some defense up there with some lurkers over there at his 4th base. Unfortunately, and we've seen this in even back in Brood War with how you play against lurkers. If Zerg is spread out like this, what you usually do is you attack where the lurkers are not.
Yes.
If Zerg's disjointed like this, you basically look at which one has less lurkers, then you attack that one, and then that forces them to uproot, and then you can even try to counterattack into that when they're reinforcing.
But it looks like right now Saxtree is going to make a beeline for the back of the 3rd base here.
I think this is really smart of Saxtree.
Yeah.
He needs to put the pressure on Protoss, and he needs to get into a position in this game where he's not answering the Protoss's questions. He's the one asking Protoss, how are you going to handle this? What are you going to do about this now?
Yeah, well said. I think that this is a fantastic move by him. And he's going to
get the robo
result in some, I mean, he's going to get this Nexus, I would say, 100%. Like, the charge lot-based army can't attack into here.
No, especially not with the this many lurkers here on the low ground as well. Even the buildings themselves act as a great obstruction. And you just see how quickly anything dies that gets into that lurker range.
Yeah.
Note the Overseer here, ready to spot for anything that can possibly see these lurkers.
Yeah, I think that Hero may have fumbled a little bit by not being out in the map this entire time. It feels like with this type of charge lot build, you can't sit back too defensively. Like, you have to be the one putting on pressure so they can't do a big move like that. So now that he's lost his base, this is turning into a little bit of a tougher situation here for Hero.
Yeah, Hero now forced back a little bit.
He doesn't have an army that deals that too well.
By the way, supply is very telling here. It's 126 to 190. So even though we've seen some cool stuff tactically from Hero, the army is actually way scarier right now here for Saxtree.
Yeah, indeed. This army, like, it looks scary. It has High Templars and Immortals.
Nice storms. Really nice storms.
Yeah. But yeah, that army is just not quite big enough to deal with Saxtree. I like that Saxtree is being careful about this. He doesn't want to just try to march through storms against Immortal Fire. Because, that doesn't go well. But he is going up to Hive at the moment. And, I mean, Saxtree has really brought himself back into it with all these lurkers.
He is, I think right now, I think Hero's going to have to rely a little bit on harass and having his army spread out. It seems like that's what he's trying to do by sending these zealots out here. This might be a pretty big victory if he actually manages to get this hatchery down here. That's double gas that Zerg is mining from, and he does take it down. Nicely done. Good, great harass there.
Yeah, that's 5 zealots, and he took out a base. For 5 zealots, it wasn't even like a prism there, too.
Now, he's going to try to push in here. He may try to push into the same location he attacked into last time. This is going to force Hero back. Hero slowly catching up in army supply right now, but really, Saxtree, if his army's in the right spot, the odds of you being able to engage it effectively are pretty close to 0.
Oh, look at this concave of lurkers as well.
Yeah.
And with this many Hydras and Roaches, you just can't attack into that. You need so much splash damage to kill this, and yeah, he has a lot of High Templars with Storm.
He's going to have to start pushing with Storm. He's going to have to start sprinkling some Storms down here. Note he's coming up at the edges here with these Immortals. This is how you want to do it, guys.
Yeah. Nice pickoffs there.
Very tough to control this, by the way.
Yeah.
If an Overseer comes up and those Hydras run under that Observer, that's it. You're dead.
Yeah. Like, seriously, if you're without an Observer for any amount of time, it becomes so much harder.
Notice he has a second Observer at the upper right.
Yeah, and you actually have to micro these Observers as well, because he can see where that is, and he can drop a Corrosive Bile on it, even if he doesn't have anything detecting.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
We haven't seen him try that yet. Probably busy doing other
he
things.
needs to move that.
Ooh,
Overstepping with the Immortals, not good.
That hurts.
Looks like he wants to rotate that one Immortal over there onto the high ground. Okay, Storm's going down now on the ramp. I mean, Zerg just with this insurmountable amount of units. Nice Storm, so absolutely beautiful.
Saxtree eating so many Storms here.
Unbelievable. But he's going to go try to dive in now. He needs to get these lurkers up here in the front. He needs to storm this. He needs to get these remaining storms off. And that's going to be...
Well, I mean,
hold on.
He's got an Immortal up here. Don't forget, he has his 4th base up still on the right-hand side of the map. I mean, that was super wasteful of Saxtree. You know, maybe just thinking
The
like, okay,
supplies
well,
are
I'm
so
gonna
low
just
right now.
beat him. Like, I'm just gonna kill him here. But like, eating that many storms.
I mean, the amount that was killed there for Zerg was insane.
Yeah,
He's
no,
gonna-
I mean the storms were just insane. It wasn't like even. It was just like Saxtree being like, okay, I'll eat these storms. It's fine. I'm so far
He does not want to waste these lurkers.
Yeah.
He probably should have sent these back. This was definitely greedy.
Yeah, there's been a couple of flaws
three
last
or
minute
four
or two.
lurkers alone are actually not going to do anything. You need to have an army with those lurkers.
Do you ever go with 4 siege tanks and attack a base? Are you kidding me?
No, you do not, Tosis.
Like that. Oh, it's kind of painful.
And unfortunately, he's feeding here, man. Like,
yeah, he is.
He's feeding hard, man.
He's like throwing. I would report him in Heroes of the Storm for this. I mean, this.
Yeah, he's. I think he's treating it like Protoss is poorer than he actually is. And in fact, this is a really scrappy game. And he has opened himself up potentially to some serious Protoss harass here. And in case you're wondering what's going on here, he needs to make sure all the units can fit in and out of here. So
yeah, Archons get stuck very easily.
They get stuck back there.
But, dude, this is like Saxtree did some great moves to come back, and then eating all those storms, and then, yes, throwing away those lurkers on top of it is
yeah,
like...
even just those 4 lurkers.
What?
I mean, that's a real investment when you got those lurkers. So
lurkers are expensive as hell. Pull them back.
Yeah.
You know, resetting those is a huge deal for Hero, and now that makes his charge lot type of composition he's been trying to go for all game so much stronger. You need a critical mass of lurkers to really shred things like charge lot.
I think this might be the reverse problem here, attacking in here. I think he definitely should not hit this.
Well, he is going to go ahead and hit it. A lot of lurkers coming down. And,
well, he does have these immortals in the back.
Yeah, he certainly does. The charge lot's coming in. That's really screwing up these lurker spines for the time being, but enough roaches here.
Big overextension here. A bit of a wonky game. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's privy to the fact that there's a base up here. I think he saw those drones transfer, so maybe he does know now, but that would have been a much wiser location to attack. Remember, guys, lurkers, not very mobile units.
No, certainly.
If you can hit them wherever they're not, you're going to be in good shape. A lot of times, you got to think of them just like when you see siege tanks against a mech player. They siege up, just run away.
Yeah.
Shoot them down, and of course, lurkers can't really do anything when they're above ground. So now, this is a funny spot where Zerg can trap these, which would be interesting, considering that it's so low econ.
Yeah, like that's really efficient. This is a very expensive army here, and now he's going to lose it almost for free.
Well, let's see. He needs to keep running back. This is how you do it.
Well, he's trying to
see how
save
much
something
additional
with the prism.
damage he might be able to do here. If he uses that immortal maybe to target down a few more. Note he's trying to go for the warp prism or the observer. Does get that observer. I believe the warp prism's still back there. Funnily enough.
Couple high Templars.
This is where you see the random storm drop that wins the game.
Yeah, no, that's pretty strong right now.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of minerals left in his other bases.
I don't believe there's any other mining bases, correct?
That's
it.
Barely mining.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can almost count it as dried up. Okay, here we go.
Oh man,
I'll take that.
That's a nice storm drop for sure.
Yeah,
and there's no Spire. You can't stop that. That can happen all game.
That can be there for as long as he wants until Zerg techs out of this problem.
Yeah, I think here you probably have to consider grabbing a Viper. He made his hive, right? So,
Dark Shrine coming here for Protoss.
Good move in a low econ situation. But Hero has retaken his third base, which is like got a decent amount of minerals during all this. So, like Saxtree's wastefulness, eating those storms and throwing away the extra lurkers is really biting him here. If he doesn't do something with this army, like if he loses this army, I think it just goes to Hero.
Yeah, he's got to be careful because there's not a really strong spot for him to put these lurkers.
But I do see an in-control pylon with these cannons.
Oh, no. Oh, actually, that's a good point. I didn't even notice there was only one.
If he can target that down.
Oh, well, there's one up there, too, but let's see. I mean, if he goes right for it, he's going to do it.
Oh, in control. This is why I always make 2 pylons.
Hey, that was a great play.
Yeah, very good move.
But Protoss already counterattacking, and this is becoming one of the scrappiest Legacy of the Void games I've casted, and I love games like this where it's just barely, players barely getting by on the resources they have.
Yeah, these are weird armies, weird supply amounts, and like a lot of fancy moves.
He's not evacuating those drones, so he might lose a lot of workers over there. And, okay, just for the amount of minerals they both have, nobody really has an operational base right now.
Yeah, not really. They're both barely mining right now.
Lurker Dan going to go down. He's also warping in some Dark Templars, and keeping in mind that Zerg's barely mining any minerals or gas, this might be the play that you have to have here.
Yeah, the High Templars are just, what a fantastic move this is to have High Templars right now. It's a great call in a low econ weird game.
Here's
High
where you
Templars,
split the zealots just oh so perfectly. Now, he could if he wants to. All right, here, well, he's beating me too. I was going to say he could intercept this. Now, what you want to do here, this Zerg army not that nimble, okay? Protoss can chase it down and still be dealing damage.
Oh, the flank of Psy Storms here.
The MVP Storms there. Those Templars, a huge game changer in this game right now.
Well, you know, it's looking pretty good for Hero right now. This is really tough for Saxtree.
Yeah.
The addition of the Dark Templars, this nice harassment by Hero. Look, he's being very mobile with this army. He's doing what he needs. He has to stay out on the map with this charge lot-based army and make sure that he's not fighting against entrenched positions.
Let's not forget there's that one DT about to destroy the Roach Warren, and I don't know if he's not aware of that or what.
I think he just doesn't. This is too crazy. There's too much going on all over the place. He doesn't have much economy. He can barely make any units.
There are like 3 different battles going on at any given point in time.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at this. Oh my God! Oh! You saved it. Okay.
Barely saved it. I think it was one swipe away from going down.
I believe you're right on that. Okay, well, here we go. He actually moves forward. Oh, God, he moved forward with those, and, of course, they do get shredded.
This has been one of the most exciting games we've casted. GG, great game. Barely winning it was Liquid Hero. Pretty cool. Hero's back, guys.
Yeah, he's back in CodeA. Definitely a few mistakes here and there from both sides. I'm kind of sad that Saxtree didn't play a little bit more conservatively with his army when he got in lead, but good holding on by Hero at the end there. He really got very clutch like the old days, and back to CodeA with him.
Nicely done there by Hero, really showing how great of a strat, or set of strats that he actually has. Really doing a good job with that in depth. We're going to be going to an interview with Hero, which Sojung will be translating. Hi, Sojung, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. It's very cold in Seoul. I don't know if you guys mentioned it already. But
It's actually even kind of cold in the studio, even though we got the heat on.
Very chilly today.
So again, an exciting moment. Hero, somebody we could deem as old school in StarCraft 2, did not have much presence in the latter part of, well, I guess you could just say in Heart of the Swarm. I mean, he wasn't very dominant, but he's back now. This is a new RTS game.
Yep.
And just like in early on Wings of Liberty, the beta and post-beta, he is in good shape. On to that interview now.
네, 소감 한 말씀, 올라간 소감.
되게 걱정도 많이 하고
I was
되게,
worried a lot about today's
오랜만에
match.
경기하는 거라서
It's been a long time
많이
since I participated in a competition.
떨려가지고
I was very nervous.
좀 실수를 너무 많이 할까봐 되게 걱정을
And I
많이
was worried
했는데
because I might make a lot of
저의
mistakes.
부족함을 상대분이 좀 채워주셔가지고
But you know what I lacked, my opponent filled today. So
오늘 그 스코어는 3대 0에 지치만 뭐 그렇게 좀 원하는 경기는 잘 나오진 않았어요. 개인적으로는 좀 오늘 몇
Caster is
점
mentioning
경기로
that
생각하십니까?
his play wasn't perfect.
경기력이 되게 좀 안 좋았던 것 같고
If I were to score my
긴장한
plays
탓도
today,
있고, 그 연습을
it's because I was very nervous too,
안
and
하다가 이게 갑자기
I haven't been
하려니까
practicing a lot,
되게
so I had to suddenly prepare for this
실력이,
match today.
네, 많이 부족한 것 같습니다.
So
그래도
I
뭐
was lacking.
스코어가 있고, 이 날이 좀 춥고 그러다 보니까 뭐 오랜만에 오기도 했고 이런 것들이 좀 복합적으로 좀 이루어지면서 오늘 경기를 뭐 제대로는 안 나왔는데 그래도 코드에스 올라가서 이제 경기를 펼치면 예전에 송현덕 선수의 그 포스를
But still, it's CodeA, and the fans will be looking forward to Hero's play.
공허의 유산이 되게 팬분들이 저한테 잘 맞을 거라고
My fans told me that Legacy of the Void would be the perfect game for me. It would fit me very well.
개인적으로는
But personally,
되게 어려운 것 같고
I think it's a very hard game.
연습량이 아주 제일 중요한 것 같아요.
And I think how much you practice is very important.
송현덕 선수의 원래 장점과 좀 특색이라고 한다면 초반부터 정교하게 이렇게 들어가는 이제 콤보식 플레이. 그러니까 계속 흔들면서
Well, Hero's
난전을
best play,
만들고 그걸로 이제
best
이제
play style
플레이
is
스타일로 좀
starting
알려져
very
있는데 오늘 플레이 스타일을 보면
taking all the
오히려
details from the first part of the game.
화려한 그런 플레이를 보여주기보다는 좀
Kinda like a
안정적인
snowball.
확장 위주의 타이밍 공격이었어요. 약간
But today was more a
스타일이
stable
이렇게
play
바뀌게 된 이유가
into
있나요?
expansions.
이게 사도가 견제를 성공하면은 되게
Well, adept,
게임 상황도 되게
it's really good for you if you're successful with the harassing.
좋은 유닛인데
It's a really good unit.
허무하게 그 무리해서
But if
견제를
you just
하다
go
보면
too overboard with it,
그 게임이 져 있더라고요. 그래가지고
you just lose it.
네 그리고 그래서 최대한 약간 수비적으로
So I try to play it in a defensive
그래서-
way
후반을 바라보는.
네
and looking forward to the
보는
latter part of the
그런
game
경기였던 것 같아요.
and
그렇죠. 우리
looking for any
정신없죠?
timings that I can go in.
이 난전을 펼치다 보니까
그 3세트 같은 경우에는 상황이 초반에 유리하다가
Asking
중반에
about the
득점이
third
안
set,
맞아서 그게 깨지면서
the last set,
불리해졌었는데 어느 순간
where it was-
역전했다라고 생각을 했었나요?
where Hero almost
첫 번째
lost.
경기는 제가 특히 경기력이 되게 안 좋았던 것 같은데
I think that the third game for
거의 뭐-
today was the worst for me.
거의 다 이겼다고 너무 생각하고
I was just thinking that I already won this, and
집중력도 흐트러지고
I wasn't concentrating enough,
게임을 너무 막 해버리는 바람에
and I just played without thinking,
게임이 좀 이상하게 흘러갔던 것
and
같아요.
it flowed into a weird direction.
네.
언제
네?
네 언제 이겼을 거라고는 그 생각 못했고 이거 지면은
I was just thinking if I lose this, I'm gonna get a lot of hateful comments about this.
아 그렇군요. 그래도 그 어려움을 이겨내고 승리단에서 올라갔습니다.
Well, still, he has won and made it to CodeA. Let's see what he's got to say for his fans.
한 말씀을 좀 해주신다면요.
네 제가 지거나 지든 이기든 많이 항상 그 응원해 주시는
Thank you
분들이
for all the support, even when I lose or win.
그래도 좀 계셔서
I still do have a lot of fans who support me.
실력이 많이 부족하고 성적도 많이 예전처럼 못 내지만
I haven't been able to make good results as
그분들
before or
생각하면서
up to my 100% game, but
열심히 해서
I will try my best, thinking of those fans who support me,
그런
and try to show you the hero that I used to be.
보여드리고 싶어요.
네, 앞으로 멋진
And this was Hero, and before I go out, Hero saw me in the waiting room and he was like, "Oh, Sojang, you still translate." So I was like, "Oh, Hero, you still play the game." So I was like,
Wrecked. Wrecked and
well,
wrecked.
no offense, but anyways, Hero has made it to CodeA. Congratulations.
Very exciting stuff. Great translating as always, Sojung. We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go on to our second best of 5 here in today's GSL CodeA.
In the past, I've been a fool. It's the truth I've lived through. All I know is I must keep you by my side, keep you by my side. If it rains, then let it rain. If it hurts, I'll share the pain. All I know is I must keep you by my side, keep you by my side. I always wanted to belong. I always wanted to belong. Will you stay with me tonight? 'Cause I'm tired of saying goodbye. You're the truth I can't deny. And I'll never let you go. 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 In the past, I've been a wreck. Wasted time, I still regret. If we forgive and forget, I'll hold you in my arms, hold you in my arms. If the tides change, let them change. If it hurts, I'll share the pain. When the clouds break, I will hold you in my arms, hold you in my arms. And I always wanted to belong. I always wanted to belong. Will you stay with me tonight? 'Cause I'm tired of saying goodbye. You're the truth I can't deny. And I'll never let you go. 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 I'm holding out for you. I'm holding out Will you stay with me tonight? 'Cause I'm tired of saying goodbye. You're the truth I can't deny, and I'll never let you go. 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 And I'll never let you go. Will you stay with me tonight? 'Cause I'm tired of saying goodbye. You're the truth I can't deny, and I'll never let you go. And take a moment's time, look to the edge of everything. You just forever, and I could never, and I could never, and I could never. And take this wondrous sight, see beauty dawning on the edge of the horizon. And I could never, and I could never, and I could never. You take far away, you don't have to fly. Oh yeah, let's go. A purple flower in the night sky, it leads me on and pulls me in, now I'm chasing after the moon and chilling like the land is shaping. You take far away, you don't have to fly. Oh yeah, let's go. A purple flower in the night, floated among the stars and watered in the twilight. Floated among the stars and watered in the twilight. Why chase it away? Try to get it out from me. There's a flag I will not say. I have to dance it before sunset. Run around me if I did. I hope this love isn't clouded by blindness. And keep it down in your heart now and never let it fade. Don't let it fade, let it fade, let it fade away. Keep pressing on this love is strong, but it may not stay. It's bittersweet, a rose, a thrilling choice I must make. Taking all this space, your kingdom reaches out as far as your eye can see. And I could never, and I could never, and I could never take my thoughts in stride. A heart can be so free and feel that I could never, and I could never, and I could never, and I could never. Run around me if I did. I hope this love isn't clouded by blindness. And keep it down in your heart now and never let it fade. Don't let it fade, let it fade, let it fade away. Keep pressing on this love is strong, but it may not stay. It's bittersweet, a rose, a thrilling choice I must make. Toss you out of my side, you can feel you want, let's feel you want. Where did you flee? I cannot find you. You spoke my name and flew away and left me confused. Please show your face to me again before the sun rises. Out of my side, you can feel you want, let's feel you want. The last rays of your light are fading. The path I'm following no longer separating. The path I'm following no longer separating. Welcome to a GSL.
Welcome back, guys. We just finished up our first best of 5. The results were one-sided, but I thought the games were actually quite close and enjoyable.
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, like Saxry absolutely could have won game 1 and 3. He got himself into good winning spots, but You know, it wasn't meant to be. Liquid Hero moves on with some pretty clutch play at the end of the day, and good for him, man. It's nice to have him back in CodeA. I'm excited to see if he does well, but I'm very reserved on that. I think he's not going to make round of 16 based on what I saw tonight.
We'll have to see, man. It's a tough call. This is also an interesting match. Today, we're going to start out with Lucira.
Yes.
Somebody who, if you've been following StarCraft 2 for a long time, I would certainly be happy to see here now. He was one of the best Zergs that was around for StarCraft 2 early on, and then fell off a little bit, like we've seen many players that were good in Wings of Liberty and did not dominate in Heart of the Swarm. And he's going to be going up against Choya, who you'd have to be following the very, very, very beginning of StarCraft 2 to know a ton about. He was one of our players who got top 4 in GSL and then retired into coaching.
That's right. I mean, he's a coach, so you've probably seen his face, but he's
definitely seen him in the booth
to the
talking to
qualifier.
people.
Yeah, he's one of 2 coaches that made it. In fact, Stork also
That's
in CodeA.
right.
So it's cool to see him there. Like, obviously, he's a very smart player. He used to be just a cheesy all-inner in the beginning of StarCraft 2. Honestly, guys, I mean, one base Robo Colossus lines and stuff, proxied.
2 base,
it was crazy.
like 7 gate with just pumping Colossi out.
But towards the end of his career, he really expanded his play a lot and then did end up having to go into a coaching role. But I'm excited to see how he can do. Lucira, though, like, you're right, he fell off some. But he's definitely had little peaks where he does pretty well, right? He comes out, beats someone really good, does all right in Pro League and stuff like that. So definitely have to side with Lucira being able to take this one down.
I would be very surprised if Lucira didn't win. We will have to see, though. Expect anything from Choya. When you're a coach, you have a lot of exposure to different strategies, which means he may have an arsenal of tools we might not be expecting.
Yeah. I mean, that's
You spend all day mentoring players and talking to them about their builds and their mindset.
When you step out of being a pro gamer, but you still study the game all the time, it brings a different type of understanding than being a pro, because you don't get caught up in your own game. Like, I know that happened for you and I as we became casters and whatnot. Like, I look at the game so differently than when I was a player.
I feel like when I do play, I feel like my understanding is a lot more refined. I just see the game in a much clearer way, and I'm not caught up in my own build that I've been working on over and over and over again. And I may be down this rabbit hole that's not actually going to be productive for how I improve on the match. If I'm too stuck on 1 or 2 key concepts that maybe I should, throw out or redefine.
But at the same time, you don't get to play as much as Lucira.
Mechanically, Mechanically, I'm not
he's going to be so sharp in every way compared to Choya. So that's why I'm really doubting Choya is able to take this. But let's see. I mean, he might have something really special planned here.
All right, guys, we are beginning our second best of 5 old school players in a new school RTS. Lucira against Choya in GSL CodeA Legacy of the Void. In the bottom left in the blue, our Zerg player.
KT 로스터 로시라.
And in the upper right, in the red,
MVP 치킨마루 초야.
an established coach here in StarCraft 2. Always interesting when we get to cast a coach in a match.
Yeah, I always enjoy watching what they do.
Yeah, it always looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
We do have a quick spawning pool here for Lucira with 6lings on the way.
And I'm not at all surprised. I actually think this is exactly the type of strategy that we should be seeing out of Lucira throughout the series. Not necessarily always like make 8lings early, but I'm saying something a little bit more defensive, because if he gets into the late game, his mechanics should really help carry him more than against another pro gamer. So I kind of like this type of play.
Cybernetics core coming now. And I think it's really important to echo what you were saying, Artosis. This does not always mean offense, getting these lings. This can mean defense as well.
Sometimes the best defense is an early offense.
Well said. Some support here for Choya in the audience. Chrono boosting is the gateway. He needs to get this walled off right away. And already the Lings are going to be able to come up here and start doing some damage. Looks like the Cybernetics core is going to be the focus of this attack.
Trying to fit that one
Yep,
more Ling.
there
There
he
you
goes.
go.
He gets it.
Takes a moment, but
not the easiest thing to get in there, but he does do it.
yeah, he is absolutely losing this, so that's really, really annoying.
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
that was. He wanted to get rid of it before it finished.
But he didn't have his units in the right spot. Choi off to a disastrous start here.
Now let's see. He actually gets. Look at this. These two pylons are placed very, very well for what's happening.
So he's just going to stay out of range of this for the time being. Try to take as little damage as possible. He'll probably have to juke back up north. Not a lot of room to move around in here.
This was actually a very, very good defense. It didn't. It looked very scary when he canceled that and all those Lings just rolled right in. But I mean, if he hadn't done that, he loses the core, and you know things start to really go wrong. But this,
well, I mean,
I gotta say, this was good.
Talk about Zerg having a lot of freedom if they did manage to get that core.
Yeah.
One probe goes down. Still, though, the rhythm here for Choya has been offset slightly. Now with the double adept push, Ling's hidden 5 of them over here. It looks like he wants to try to come up once again and try to get in the main. And the Zealot will not be able to block it just in time here. Nice surround.
And well, I mean that's pretty solid. He gets to do a little bit more scouting as well. We do have a probe down at that third base area for Choya, and look at that, going ahead and making his third, realizing that Lucira sacrificed a bunch of economy. Everything's going right for Choya.
Yeah, Choya's doing a great job here.
This is great, yeah.
Well, this has been a theme we've seen in ZVP where you know, Zergs get aggressive and they make some drones, but if the Protoss is taken to a depth, the Protoss can be across the map in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Already he's killed 3 drones. He's causing lost mining time. Bam, he's going to kill some more, at least 3 or 4 more
and
here.
as you can see, they can 2-shot drones, making it very unforgiving for the Protoss, and already shading back across the map here. I'm surprised he's not microing that away a little bit more, but it is going to be able to get over there. No! Right. No, okay, you got it. Excuse me. So, yeah, nicely done. Again, still something Zergs still have to hyper adjust to deal with, because it's just too difficult when facing off, you know, as an aggressive Zerg to try to be greedy and drone up behind that.
Well, right now, a couple Stargates going up. He kind of has an idea of where Lucira's at, and the fact that he denied that third hatchery by killing the drone and it wasn't made means that it's really hard for Lucira to do like a... Oh, that's a good catch.
Oh, he needs to get this Zergling on this side and then run away. Nope, not going to happen. And the Lings are going to come around now, activating the pylon cannon. Adepts here at the ramp to hold.
But yeah, look, this double Stargate, this is pretty cool because without that third hatchery, it's hard to do like a Roach, a Ravager Ling attack, which is normally what you do against two greedy at third base. But Lucira's in a really wonky spot right now after this opening failing so hard, and Choya has reacted very intelligently in every way, I would say.
Ling's rotating around. And we're just going to see the Phoenixes come out here. And that's like the next phase of the pressure there. That was the Overlord that was damaged a good amount earlier, in case you're wondering how that died so incredibly fast.
Yeah, it's the Stalker has adept level damage.
That's
there.
right. And from here, Protoss just makes a massive amount of gateways and gets a robo-attack. While Zerg tries to hold off the onslaught of Phoenixes that will be coming up here very soon.
What does Lucira do here to catch up is what I'm trying to figure out. Because this is for sure a very tough situation that he's in. Like, he started Burrow, then canceled it. So I wonder if he's maybe thinking about doing something like that still. Like, I'm just not really sure what the comeback strat is, because he's, you know, this third is so late. Like, Choya is really gotten his economy flowing so well at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. The way Protoss have it set up, I mean, there's a series of pushes and harass that really... I know that the response for a lot of Zergs has been to make a bunch of Lings to be safe, but it seems like you can't do too much damage or overextend at all with those Lings, or you're going to be punished yet again later on.
Yeah. Definitely very important to keep those guys around.
Yeah.
Hydralisk Den on the way. He's actually getting melee attack and ranged attack. So that's kind of
is
interesting.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Not what I'm expecting, especially if he wants to go into late game.
Yeah, could it be like a Linga Hydra all-in or something like that?
Maybe.
Huh.
Well, I just know that as Protoss continues to get attack upgrades, you know, armor is obviously very important for Zerg, so to not be equipped with proper armor, that's a problem.
Well, looks like these Phoenix is going to come in and mess with these Queens quite a bit. Going to pick them both off very easily. Some real damage being dealt by these Phoenixes.
And Adepts now coming down over here. Choya maybe overextending with his Adepts. Seems to not even be micromanaging them that well. No shade animation, nothing like that. It's kind of weird.
Wow. Well, a lot of gates being added right now. Starting to make some Immortals as well. Getting that Roach speed upgrade. I'm still very interested by the melee attack. Let's see where Choya wants to go with this. I'd imagine he wants to go up into charge.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing if we're going to get educated somehow by Luceria here with the interesting upgrade pair that we have.
Yeah, yeah. Could be. I mean, getting attack upgrades for melee is not bad. Like, melee for Zerg is so much more powerful in Legacy of the Void than it was before. You know, Adrenal upgrades are so much better. Adrenal glands for Zerglings, that is. Oh, a Baneling Nest.
Yeah,
definitely
that's
helps with Banelings.
Certainly.
And, of course, Ultras are pretty fantastic as well. Not necessarily against the type of comps we've been seeing out of Protoss lately, but yeah.
By the way, massive amount of kills here. Taking out 11 drones. Yeah, just so many Phoenixes. Not much you can do really as Zerg in that position. War Prism now coming up here as well as an Oracle. Those are the AWOL Zealots over there.
They're just chilling. They're
like,
scouting the
war
top
is
there.
too scary. We're not part of this anymore.
They're on enemy side, though.
That's right.
Okay, they're coming out. They're going to do something now.
And once again, coming in here with the Phoenixes. Nice pickups, taking out a good amount of drones here. As you can see, the kill count going up so high.
Wow. That's really painful. Just so many drones have died. He's getting Baneling speed at this point. He's also going Infestation Pit and Lurker Den. So
it seems like he wants to do some kind of timing up here onto this fourth base.
Yeah.
I don't believe... Yeah, there we go. All the Lings are morphing right now.
Okay. You know what? With Baneling speed and +1 melee for Banelings here, like against these heavy charge lot compositions, if you kill every charge lot in a matter of seconds, that can be really great.
And he's coming up now. There are some Archons and Immortals. We'll see if they're in good position here. He has to have a nice spread to make sure these Banelings don't connect as effectively. He might also try picking up some of those Banelings with the Phoenixes as the fight begins. And Zerg actually backs off.
Okay. Definitely needs to wait for that Baneling speed. It's definitely one of the biggest differences in upgrade.
That would be a shocker if he attacked in there without that.
Yeah. And he's actually hiding a few Banelings here in a kind of funny place. The Phoenixes flew over him.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to say, I think the Phoenixes just flew over that.
But look at this. This is actually getting really cool. I'm very interested in this. He's going up to Hive. He's making his Lurkers. He has Baneling speed. So, I mean, if you try to attack in with charge lots, you know, he doesn't have the normal set of units you would have with Lurkers. Like, he doesn't have a big Roach Hydra army in there. Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Kind of an old school style there.
Yeah.
Hiding the Banelings and hoping to run them in. And Protoss is now pushing out here with a slight supply lead. And actually definitely an army lead.
Yeah.
If you look at the worker count and how this is distributed. But the Lurkers are in a good spot.
Well, looks like we are going to have a little Zealot drop here. Maybe a Warp in as well. Going to go ahead and warp in a couple Zealots to go along with these Zealots.
And with that, he's going to be pushing in here. Do we have an Observer? Yeah, we do have an Observer. Excuse me. And the Phoenix is now picking up the Lurkers. Nicely done.
Yeah, just
got to be careful that one Observer getting hit.
He did
It does go down.
Oof.
There's no Observer over that, right? That's it.
Yeah, I believe there's no Observer left, so he does have to pull back. So that's really good. But he had no beef with those Lurkers, so definitely lost quite a few. Lost 14 drones during all this
And
as well.
Also, Protoss lost a War Prism back there. Choya and Lucera, they both seem to be having a bit more of a difficult time in this, at least the beginning part of this best of 5.
Well, more Lurkers on the way, Adrenal Glands, and +2 melee attack, so Zerglings are getting really, really fearsome, but losing this 5th base really sucks.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was literally the best humanly possible time to attack that, is right when it's done. No cancels. If he's playing correctly, it's right when he's transferred his drones as well.
Looks like Zerglings running in right now. Adrenal not quite done yet, but hey, they have +2 melee, so they are going to be able to deal a lot of damage to this line.
This makes even warping in a bit more of a difficult thing to do.
Has to utilize all the energy here on this Oracle. And I like that. He actually tried to morph in a couple Banelings in there as well. That would have been really crazy if that worked.
Well, if it goes ignored, you're going to blow up all the workers. So why not try that? By the way, +3 ground weapons done here for Choya. Choya with a very scary ground army. This is how we've seen lurkers used traditionally back in StarCraft 1, comboed with anti-air and detection.
Yeah.
And then you just take this whole swath of ground and just make it almost impenetrable.
This is really cool, and he keeps running Lings by because he knows that with this type of army, Choya wants to stay aggressive, so he might not have as many units at home. Not finding too much with these Lings yet, but hey, we actually have Adrenal about to finish, so he actually gets rid of this 4th. And, like, that's not an expensive attack for him. He still has the bulk of his army at home. He has a lot of supply. He's not going to be broken.
It's just a couple of larvas spent on some Lings.
Yeah.
It's about as expendable as you can go.
This is really cool. Like, you can't break this with that army.
Whoa. I'm actually very surprised to see this, but let's see if we can actually carve in here. He's arcing it pretty well, though. However, I think the lurker damage would just be too much, right?
It's way too much. Like,
okay,
that many lurkers, you just can't attack that. You need Colossus or flying stuff or disruptors. Like, you absolutely can't attack that.
Yeah, for a second, I thought I was going to learn something back there. Like, maybe he really understood the damage distribution quite well, and there was something we weren't seeing in how he engages, but so far, not the case. And in fact, it's even a bit more strange considering that he had the opportunity to attack that base we just saw over there.
Yeah.
That he knew it was being remade at, and instead tried to kick in the front door, if you will, and just run him over. That was a bit strange.
That wasn't a good move by Choya for sure. Like, if you see something that turtle up, that's a hell of a lot of supply. That's a hell of a lot of money he put in that. I would much prefer that he postures aggressively while teching into whatever defeats that he wants to go for, and then maybe drops during that time.
Here's what I'll say about that attack is Zerg made that setup exactly to hold an attack that looked like that.
Yeah.
So don't bother attacking into it. Start to hit other locations. Look, when they're heavy on lurkers, they do not have defense everywhere. You can start abusing warp prisms. You can start flying around. And doing all sorts of techniques that do not involve a head-to-head engagement.
Lurkers are the new Swarm Host or the new Broodlord is the way you have to look at it.
Yeah.
When they have a whole bunch and they have an impenetrable type of area, don't ever attack it. Go around it. Just think exactly like that. And
it's a big map. There's lots of different places they've had to expand to. There's lots of places you can expand to. You don't have to face him head on.
But, you know, it's some smart play from Lucira, I think, because Choya got such an advantage. And, I mean, it's not like Choya's dead or anything, but Lucira is just doing his best, right? Ooh, these is really nice moves. But Lucira is just doing his best to, like, kind of hard counter what he thinks Choya's basically up to and catch up like that. And so far, it's working reasonably well.
Choya now on his 5th base at the center right. Lucira will be forced to continue to expand to the upper left, and I think it's going to be a pretty big burden here for Lucira to try to maintain control of the left side of the map, since even with lurkers, it's going to be tough to defend the upper left side and the bottom left side entirely. Then again, Choya's had some pretty sloppy attacks as well, so
True.
I mean, it's still anybody's game.
It certainly is. Ooh, these are really nice moves with these
I got to
Banelings.
tell you, I mean, dropping him down to 45 workers to the 81 drones here for Lucira is pretty insane.
That it truly is. But right now, mobility goes 100% to Choya. So, as you were saying, with this much of a spread, it's hard to defend that all with lurkers. So, where will Choya attack?
See
He's
those
going
lurkers
towards the
there, guys?
very far edge.
Don't attack into them.
Nah, no,
go around them, fight another day, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go where these lurkers are not. I think he's being. Oh, hold up.
Oh,
we have an attack hitting from both sides here. He needs to get the zealots over them to the top of those lurkers on the left to get their spread to not be as effective. Good rotation around here. Very good rotation here by Choya. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, very well said. That rotation, absolutely amazing. Allowing him to take this out.
That was beautiful. He needs to get these Archons grouped together so they can at least take out the Lynx before the lurkers get back down onto the low ground. The lurkers now retreating back up to the high ground. That's how you engage lurkers.
That was awesome.
He made the lurkers have to come to him.
Yeah, and as you were saying, that rotation that he did, where he's like, okay, I'm winning the left side of the battle, losing
Yeah.
the right, and he
Let's
keeps
hug the
attacking the
left.
left, yeah,
Yeah.
and he pushes all his right units. He's like, no, screw this, move command, get out of here.
And that baits
Awesome.
Zerg into attacking further left and to try to surround that even more. And then he comes in with the Phoenixes and drives them back out by picking up those lurkers. And
Great move.
Even at the very end, he pulls the Archons together because the splash is going to wipe out the rest of the Zerglings, and then he can focus fire the lurkers unless Lucera pulls them out in time.
Yeah, tactically a fantastic move by Choya there with that army, doing exactly what he needed to do. And as you see, this is really reflected, despite the fact he lost so many probes, he's doing well supply-wise. He's got a much bigger army at the moment. Not necessarily the perfect composition for what he's fighting against at the moment, but you know what? If he keeps moving around like that, if you can consistently do moves like that, you can fight against this.
There are some maps that lurkers are better on than others, at least in my experience, and it depends on just how much of the map you can cut in half properly. And this is one of these maps where I think they're not as strong. Doesn't mean you shouldn't go for them, but you're already seeing the problems that Zerg is having. If Zerg were to spread each of these lurkers out to a different base, Protoss would just walk over it. And so you have one place that can't be checkmated all the time here for Zerg. However, the rest of the map and the nature at which Zerg operates, they never get to get the bases they need to get up.
Yeah, I feel like Lucera, like, do you think he's maybe just trying to max out with this comp so he can push? Because this is one of those comps where I think you do have to have a huge amount of supply to effectively
I'm
go.
not sure where his larva's at, but he's had a lot of gas and a lot of minerals for a while now, so I'm not sure what the story is.
Yeah, that's a good point. It looks like he's going to do another Baneling drop, and this is going to basically kill Choya. This is 24 probes in here. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
he's quick. He's quick.
Good save.
Ooh, that was going to be insane.
Yeah, he's even making a cannon there right now. We better
would have
keep
been
our eyes peeled on the mini-map for that possibly coming back in, because that's as exciting as this all is. If he loses all of his workers, it is a game changer.
That Overlord is very low on health now, so it might be a while before he tries
Oh,
it again. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Here he goes. And that is a lot of probes dead for 2 Banelings.
Very nicely done. He is coming down, however, and if he can get just in this right position.
Lurker pushing through, but, I mean, he's going to be able to target this hatch-on so quickly. Look, he's just going to back up. He can regain those shields. It doesn't matter to lose a few units. Really good moves by Choya here, but Lucera as well, using some great strategies like these Baneling drops to keep himself in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not taking out any structures for the expanding. Obviously, there weren't very many minerals at that base, but Zerg was still mining gas there, which is probably more important to think about at this phase of the game.
Do you see what I see?
Do you see what I see?
He's getting Neural Parasite.
I know. It's very exciting.
Who was I talking to? I think I was talking to TLO. He unbinded that, so he never gets it because he loses too many games with it.
I think I was there when he said that. That's funny. Now, Protoss is just going to shove in here with the Immortals and the Archons. However, I don't think this is a good idea.
No, he's being flanked like crazy right now. This was very cost inefficient for him. That's a big victory for Lucera, who, by the way, just continues to expand northward. That was really cost inefficient. And you just wait till he Neural Parasites all the Archons, and he's really screwed.
He's coming in again.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Wow.
Just a little bit too late. Even though we saw it come in there, he tried to pull. That is 37 probes right now. I can't believe Choya tried to push into that location.
Yeah. Well,
that was so needless.
He has certainly stayed on this unit composition for a little bit too long. Like, even earlier when he was doing some tactically fantastic moves, and we're like, wow, he's still getting damage done with this army. The army he's been making is countered by the army that Lucera's making. Like, he's sieged up with his lurkers. You can't attack in there with Archon Immortal like this.
Yeah, it seemed a bit crazy, and what's funny about it is that he knew he couldn't kill it the first time when he ran out after killing the hatchery.
Yeah.
But what's strange is then he decided to just go for it.
By the way, we're about to see StarCraft 1. We have 2 Overlords full of cracklings about to drop.
Oh, my God.
And that's going to kill these Protoss buildings so quickly.
I would lose my mind when this would happen to me in Brood War.
Yeah, like Protoss buildings would just
die
evaporate
so fast. Yeah,
like it's not even that you're bad as a Protoss; it would just like kill all your buildings in 2 seconds. And Warping didn't exist, so it definitely looked different from this. But
as you can see, even with the Warping, the Lings come in there; they're doing damage so fast, and we're going to see all these buildings begin to melt if he doesn't do something in time here.
And look at this, a little Zergling attack over here. Look, those melee upgrades plus Adrenal Glands, he's just destroying now. Choya having a hard time finding any way in for some damage. And look, he doesn't have a lot of money right now. Like, Lucira has really gotten himself ahead with this.
Taking that out. Protoss rotating down. I think Lucira is going to be fine and probably win this game, just judging from the turn of events over the last few minutes. Zerg doesn't have to worry about losing the upper left side of the map because Protoss threw his main army away. The probe count has been reduced drastically, although slowly over time Choya is starting to catch up. But these ling drops here, it's not hard for Zerg to do, and it's very hard for Protoss to deal with.